Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm coming to you live from Plaisted Park in Medford, Massachusetts, where I am covering some Lou Tompkins All-Star League youth baseball action between Brookline and Medford. Game is already underway. I hit some traffic on the way over here. We are in the top of the first inning, where Brookline currently has 2 outs and a runner on first. Leadoff hitter Brage Golding grounded out to the pitcher. As we see a pitch come in, and the runner is stealing second and safely steals. After Brage Golding grounded out to the pitcher for the first out, Rocco Shorgy drew a walk, and as I said, he just stole second on that pitch. Andrew Silverman flew out to center field for the second out, and now Ramsey Annis stands at the plate. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. The pitch swung on and missed. Annis steps back in, pitch, catches the zone once again for strike 2. Pitcher stares in, pitch, and it's fouled to the backstop by Annis. He stays alive in the at-bat. Brookline playing for the second consecutive day after suffering a tough loss to Reading Black yesterday. Pitch is high for a ball. That loss, a 3-2 loss to Reading Black, ended an 8-game winning streak for Brookline. I'll be looking for some more offensive success today as the pitch is tipped into the catcher's glove for strike 3, and that ends the top of the first inning. So, to round out how the inning went, Brage Golding grounded out to the pitcher. Rocco Shorgy walked and stole second. Andrew Silverman flew out to center field, and Ramsey Annis struck out swinging. We head to the bottom of the first as we'll take a look at Brookline's defensive lineup. Starting at the pitcher's mound, where we have Jake Levin, number 18, on the hill. Completing the battery with him is Ramsey Annis, number 50. At first base, we have number 27, Eli Rothman. At second base, number 6, Jack Martell. At third base, number 22, Andrew Silverman, usually an outfielder, but today getting a shot at the infield position. And at shortstop, we have the usual third baseman, Rocco Shorgy. In left field, we have number 2, Ian Glick. In center field, we have Brage Golding, usually a left fielder, but getting a spot in center field today. And in right field, we have number 14, Conrad Wickman. So a few changes from the usual lineup for Brookline, as a few of their normal starters are not here today. Owen Roach, who was seen plenty of time at second base, is not here today. Caleb Mcgrath, the starting shortstop, also not here. And Jasper Reed, pretty frequent catcher and extra hitter, is not here today either, as the extra hitter for Brookline today is number 12, Daniel Villa. So the bottom of the first is about to get underway of a scoreless game between Brookline and Medford. I have last names for the Medford lineup, but not first names, so leading off will be the center fielder, Paulillo. Levin delivers his first pitch. Connected, and it's sent out to center field, and it drops in front of Golding for a single. So one pitch and a single to center. And now due up will be the catcher, Nestor. Levin checks the runner at first. Winds and delivers. The runner goes. Pitches in there. Annis juggled it before he could get the throw off. And Paolillo steals successfully. I believe the pitch itself was just outside for ball one. So no outs and a runner on second. Levin checks the runner. Winds and delivers. Reaches out and grounds it. It gets past Silverman and gets past Shorgy, and the runner goes down to third safely. So two at-bats, and we very quickly have runners on the corners as the shortstop, number 42, Mitchell, comes up to the plate. Levin sets, throws back to first, and Nestor dives back safely. Levin with the pitch, the runner goes, we've got a swing, and it's popped up, it's going to stay in the infield, and it is caught at short by Shorgy, and that'll get the first out of the inning as Nestor had taken off for a hit and run, but he retreated quickly once he realized that play wasn't going anywhere. So now up we've got the other of, I guess, the two Nestors. This is M. Nestor, the first baseman. Levin throws back to first at S. Nestor, but he dives back safely. Pitch, swung on and connected. This one's going foul down the left side. Levin settles back in, checks the runner at third and at first, steps off the mound to keep them in check. Back to first, and then back to third, and then back to first. Staying wary of the runners on the bases. Fires the pitch, connected on. This one's going out to left field. It's caught, now chucked home. Cutoff man, and the guy scores. So a sac fly to left gets Medford on the board. Paolillo scores, and Medford now leads Brookline 1-0. So next up will be the extra hitter, and I think I have a full name for this one. It seems to be Shane Grant. And the throw back to first by Levin. And S. Nestor dives back. Levin with the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the right side. Grant is the extra hitter, number 27. Levin sets, pitch, swung on, and he skies this one. It looks like it's going to stay in the infield. First baseman calls it off. It is caught by Rothman, and that'll end the bottom of the first. So after one inning, Medford leads Brookline 1-0. Summary of the Top of the first, Brage Golding grounded out to the pitcher. Rocco Shorgy drew a walk and later stole second. Andrew Silverman flew out to center, and Ramsey Annis struck out swinging to end the top half of the inning. In the bottom half, Paolillo led off with a single to center. S. Nestor hit a single through the left gap after Paolillo stole second, putting runners at the corners. Mitchell popped out to the shortstop. M. Nestor hit a sac fly out to left field to drive in Paolillo for the game's first run, and then Grant popped up to the first to end the inning. The score is 1-0. Brookline coming into this game with a 9-3 record, one of the best records in the A division, but coming off a tough loss just yesterday out in Reading to Reading's younger black team. And after the loss, they are out of the running for first place in the division. Acton has clinched that with a 10-2-1 record, as Brookline is playing this one last game as a makeup for a previously postponed due to weather game from some point in July. As it is, Brookline has about a half-game lead over Reading Red. Brookline with a 9-3 record, while Reading with an 8-3-1 record. So, not entirely sure how that shakes out, but given that the standings on the league site seem to award points based on wins and ties, I think that Brookline may have already clinched second place, so they might not have much to play for today in terms of a playoff spot. Medford, meanwhile, comes in with a 7-4 record, and a win would cause them to jump from 6th place to 4th place, as they currently trail both Waltham and Stoneham by just 1 point in the standings, as Waltham and Stoneham are each 7-4-1. So a lot to play for Medford, not as much for Brookline, but Brookline certainly wants to gain some momentum going into the tournament, especially after the disappointing loss to the now 3-8-1 Reading Black team yesterday. So leading off, as we start the top of the second, is the first baseman, number 27, Eli Rothman. The pitch is in there for strike one. Rothman had a pretty good game yesterday against Reading Black, as the pitch comes in and it's high for ball one. Rothman, the only member of Brookline's lineup to have more than one hit on the day, as the pitch comes in. He swings and connects. This is a grounder over to short. Fielded cleanly by the shortstop, thrown over to first, stretches out for the throw and gets it. That's a 6-3 ground out. Next up in the lineup will be Jack Martell, the second baseman, jersey number 6. Pitch is high for ball one. On the mound for Medford is Dyer, who delivers the 1-0 pitch, and just a bit outside for ball two. Pitch in there for strike one. So 2-1 now the count. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and that'll be strike two. So 2-2 now the count to Martell. Now the pitch, it's high, way high. Martell had to duck a bit, and now we've got a full count. Pitch bounced off the catcher's glove and went all the way to the backstop, but with no runners on, that's just a harmless ball. Full count, pitch, gets in there for strike three. Martell goes down looking, and now with 2 outs, it's Daniel Villa, number 12, the extra hitter. Pitch. Inside, ball 1. Yesterday, Villa went 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout, as the next pitch is low for ball 2. Line up in the throw. In there for strike 1. It's 2-1 now, the count to Villa. Dyer delivers. Swung on and fouled down the right side. That'll be strike 2. Dyer briefly steps off the mound, then steps back on. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and it's grounded to the right side. Fielded by the first baseman, thrown over to the pitcher who covers in time. No, he doesn't cover in time. Daniel Villa with, I believe, an infield single. Not sure what happened. Maybe the pitcher's foot missed the bag, or maybe Villa was just that fast. Either way, a runner on first with 2 down for the pitcher, number 18, Jake Levin. Levin got into a bit of a jam in the bottom of the first and surrendered the game's first run. Now he's at the plate, hoping to add to his cause. The pitch is low for ball 1. Now the throw back to first. Villa dives back easily. Pitch from Dyer is high for ball 2. The first 2 pitches of each of the last 3 at-bats have all gone for balls. Dyer now delivers. It's a ball. They throw to first, and Villa dives back safely. A well-executed pickoff attempt by the catcher, but Villa just barely managed to dive back, and now there's a 3-0 count to Levin. Dyer pitches and catches the corner. Levin was ready to trot down to first, but instead he's got a 3-1 count. Now the throw back to first again, and once again Villa dives back. They're trying real hard to catch him off guard there. Pitch, swung on, and he skies this one. It looks like it's going out to right. Right fielder backtracks and makes the grab. So a long fly out to right ends the top of the first. The inning plays out as such. Eli Rothman led off and grounded out to the shortstop. Jack Martell came up next, struck out looking on a full count. Daniel Villa hit a grounder to first, but was able to beat out the throw for an infield single. And then Jake Levin flew out to right. So Brookline has managed 1 base runner in each of the first 2 innings, but hasn't been able to get any runs across. Meanwhile, Medford comes up with a 1-0 lead. And due up for Medford, as I try my best to read the handwriting on the roster sheet, we have, I believe, Maffeo leading off, the second baseman, followed by Dyer, the pitcher, and then Seppi, the right fielder. Sun bright as anything today. And with a limited number of trees around the diamond here at Playstead Park, the fans are not able to find much shade to sit in. Biggest thing I've got to deal with in that respect is that sometimes my laptop screen reflects back at me and it's hard to see what's on my screen. But hey, them's the hazards of the trade, I guess. As the last warm-up throws go through, now standing in is number 7, the second baseman, Maffeo. First pitch from Levin. Swung on and missed, strike one. 0-1 the count. Levin delivers. It's low and away, ball one. Levin sets. 1-1 pitch. Catches the high end of the strike zone for strike two. Next pitch is low and away for ball two. Medford crowd wasn't happy with that second strike call, but one of them managed to turn it into a joke, saying, "You wouldn't have gotten that call before your growth spurt." So that's some fun. And then the next pitch is in there for strike three. So a strikeout looking. The first K of the day for Jake Levin. And now his counterpart, the opposing pitcher, Dyer, steps in. A lefty hitter at that. Pitch from Levin. Swung on. He sends this one out to right center. This one's going to drop in the gap. Dyer rounding first and deciding to stay. He's tracked down well in the outfield, and so Dyer gets a long single to left center. Now coming up, the right fielder, number 0, Seppi. Levin checks the runner at first. Checks again. First pitch is in there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Low and away, ball one. One and one, the count to Seppi. Dyer stands at first with one out here in the bottom of the second. Levin with pitch, runner goes. It's a slow grounder back to the pitcher. They can't get the guy at second, so they get him at first. So the 1-3 play gets the second out of the inning. Dyer gets to second on the hit and run play. And now up the third baseman, number 8, Slow. Pitch from Levin. Swung on and missed. That's strike one. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and it's grounded over to second. Tracked by Martell, thrown to first, and that ends the inning. So the second inning ends with no damage on either side. Bottom of the second one is such. Maffeo struck out looking. Dyer hit a single to left center. Seppi hit a grounder to the pitcher that had moved Dyer to second on the hit and run. And then Slow grounded out to second to end the inning. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Playstead Park in Medford, Mass. And I'll take a quick between innings break, but I'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Playstead Park in Medford, Mass, where we are starting the top of the third inning of this youth baseball game between Brookline and Medford. Leading off for Brookline in the top of the third, the right fielder, number 14, Conrad Wickman. Pitch from Dyer is outside for ball one. 1-0 pitch is low and away for ball 2. Dyer winds and fires inside ball 3. So Dyer struggling to find the strike zone. 3-0 pitch is low for ball 4. So Wickman leads things off with a 4-pitch walk and brings up the left fielder, number 2, Ian Glick. Brookline for once has 2 lefties in their starting lineup today, with Glick in left field and Brage Golding in center. Dyer checks the runner at first, throws back. Close. The Brookline players and coaches saying you got to dive back to first on those plays, as Wickman decided to just dart back on his feet, and that made things closer than it might have been if he dove. The pitch in there for strike 1 to Glick. Players like Wickman and Glick haven't been everyday starters this season. They've played more platoon roles, so they like to take advantage of whatever opportunity they can get. As Glick hits a grounder over to the first baseman, over to second for 1, over to first. The double play is complete. Wait. There was a bit of confusion at second base for a brief second, but the double play stands. And I believe that was a 3-6-3 double play, as now Brage Golding comes to the plate, the leadoff hitter who grounded out to the pitcher his last time up. Pitch, he fouls it to the backstop. The first pitch was a ball that I just missed, so 1-1 is the count. Pitch from Dyer. He tries to lay down a bunt and misses for strike 2. Golding has been the bunt master the past 2 games. He's reached base safely 3 times on a bunt in the past 2 games, but now he faces a 1-2 count as Dyer briefly steps off the mound. Pitch. He tips this one and stays alive. Now the 1-2 pitch again, swung on and missed, and that'll end the inning. So the top of the 3rd plays out as such. Conrad Wickman led off with a 4-pitch walk. Ian Glick grounded into a 3-6-3 double play, and then Brage Golding struck out swinging. So with Medford getting ready to come to the plate for the bottom of the 3rd, Brookline's Jake Levin will be facing the last batter in the lineup, the left fielder Stover, before going back to the top of the lineup with Paulillo and S. Nestor.
What? No, it went to P11 at LO.
So Levin warming up, and he's throwing to a different catcher. He's throwing to Jasper Reed. Thought maybe Reed wasn't here today because I didn't see him in the starting lineup. But it appears I was mistaken. He's just coming off the bench, as are other usual starters like Owen Roach, Aiden Chin, and Caleb Mcgrath. But Reed might be in at catcher. Hard to say. So the warm-up pitches rather, come to an end, and yes, it seems that Jasper Reed will be taking Annis's place behind the plate, starting this inning, as the left fielder, number 24, Stover, comes up for Medford. First pitch from Levin is connected on, and it's grounded over to the shortstop. Fielded cleanly, thrown to first, caught for the out. And Reed isn't the only one back in, as Caleb Mcgrath has taken his usual position at shortstop. And Rocco Shorgy has moved over to third base, so a number of defensive substitutions after the first couple of innings by Brookline. Now we head back to the top of the lineup with Paolillo. The lefty hitter got a single to start the bottom of the first. Later came around to score as the first pitch is well outside for ball one. One 0 pitch, outside again, ball two. Two 0 pitch, swung on and missed, strike one. Levin got him on a slight dipping ball that I think Paolillo expected to dip just a little more. Instead he swung at a high pitch, 2-1 the count. Pitch, grounded foul down the first base side. So 2-2 now the count. Pardon me. 2-2 pitch is high for ball three. Payoff pitch is fouled to the backstop. Paolillo stays in. Count still 3-2. One out, nobody on. Pitch from Levin. Swung on and missed. He gets him on strikes. Next up will be the catcher, number 16, S. Nestor. Another lefty hitter. Pitch from Levin. Outside, ball one. Nestor in the first inning hit a single through the left gap, but would later be stranded at first. Next pitch is outside again, ball two. The 2-0 pitch, swung on and connected. This one's going out to left field. Caught easily in left. And that will end the inning. 1-2-3, ground out to short, strikeout swinging, and fly out to left. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live from Playstead Park in Medford, Mass. Score is Medford 1, Brookline 0, and I'll be back after a brief break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Playstead Park in Medford, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and we are starting the top of the fourth inning of this youth baseball game between Medford and Brookline. Rocco Shorgy leading off for Brookline, and he gets a ball on the first pitch. Second pitch, in there for a strike, and I see now we have a pitching change for Medford. That is number 12. Not entirely sure who it is, as Shorgy swings and misses for strike two. So the 1-2 count. Swung on and missed. Caught him chasing low, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Come on, guys. Let's go, Andrew. Come on, buddy.
So next up will be Andrew Silverman. He flew out to center last time up. And one of the things I forgot to mention about this new pitcher for Medford is he is a lefty. So different from what most batters are used to, as the first pitch is in there for strike one. It's like whenever a pitcher faces a lefty hitter, everything just kind of goes reverse for a second. You have to readjust your mind. As the next pitch is low for ball one.
I did not have to.
1-1 pitch. In there for strike two. 1-2 pitch is low for ball two. A long and slow wind-up motion from this pitcher, also something you don't see that often at this level. Pitch. Silverman connects on this one. Skies out to center field. Center fielder's chasing it. This might drop. Did he catch it? No, he didn't. He dropped it. Silverman's going to second, and that's where he'll stand. I said it was dropped by the center fielder, but I can't give that anything less than a base hit. That was a difficult chase by the center fielder. He was trying to make like a Willie Mays catch there.
Who's 22's parents?
I know.
I'm not sure. It was.
Almost. What do you
Come on, Ramsey.
And now Ramsey Ennis stepping to the plate. Pitcher checks the runner at second, fires, swung on and missed, strike one. Ennis, his last time up, struck out swinging to end the top of the first. Pitch comes in, inside, or I believe that was inside for ball one, but it might have been called a strike, hard to say. Pitcher checks the runner and decides to step off the bag. Andrew Silverman standing at second after a nice doubled center field. And Ennis calls time just before the pitch is thrown. And that may have thrown off the pitcher a bit as he decided not to throw with full force and just sort of lob it as it went over everyone's head and to the backstop. But the pitch doesn't count. And I was wrong. That second pitch wasn't a ball, it was a strike, so 0-2 is the count to Ennis. Pitch, tipped into the glove, strike three. So Ennis goes down swinging for the second out of the inning, and now Eli Rothman steps to the plate. His last time up, he grounded out to the shortstop. This time he swings and misses on the first pitch for strike one. Plenty of speed on this pitcher's arm. Checks the runner at second and delivers. It's low, skips away from the catcher, and Silverman takes off for third. So Brookline now 90 feet away from the tying run. 2 outs, and Andrew Silverman at third. A 1-1 count to Eli Rothman. Here comes the pitch. He fouls it to the backstop. That'll be strike two. One and two the count. Pitch. Swung on and missed. And that ends the top of the fourth. 3 swinging strikeouts by this relief pitcher. And so the score remains Medford 1, Brookline 0.
22. Good hustle, buddy. Almost got that.
And as we get ready for the bottom of the fourth, Jake Levin going back out to the mound. Jasper Reed playing behind the plate. Caleb Mcgrath over at shortstop, Rocco Shorgy at third, Owen Roach back out at second base, Brage Golding out to left field, Andrew Silverman back out at his usual position in center, and I think Aiden Chin has come into play in right. So a lot of the usual starters back in defensively, and I'm sure we'll be able to see them come to the plate later on in this game.
I think I'm an addition. 16. Tracy, Levin, Martell. But then certain days I think I'm a subtraction. I'm getting you ready for next year when we win the state championship. What? 4 5 hot. Chin has been, he's used to my nonsense since 29.
So coming up for Medford in this inning will be Mitchell, M. Nestor, and Shane Grant.
It is pretty sad. You can't say like that is sad. That's like my nana would say. You're like a vibrant guy.
Mitchell, his last time up, popped out to the shortstop. M. Nestor hit a sac fly to left that produced the game's only run, and Shane Grant popped out to first. So Mitchell steps in, and we are about ready to kick off the bottom of the 4th inning. Levin with the first pitch. Curves in, but not in enough. That's ball 1, as it was just inside. 1-0 pitch. In there for strike 1. One pitch, swung on and grounded foul down the third base line. One and two, the count to Mitchell. Pitch. He fouls this one down the right side. And into the street with that foul ball. Certainly one of the dangers when you arrange the ballpark this way is that a foul ball could potentially fly into the streets. Levin with the 1-2 pitch again, high and outside for ball 2. Mitchell steps back in. The 2-2 pitch from Levin is in the dirt for ball 3.
Come on, bud. Just relax. Hey, what's good, 1-8? Figuring out, Jake.
So a full count now. Levin sets. Payoff pitch.
Beautiful.
In there for strike 3. Levin opens the inning with a hard-fought strikeout, and there is one down for Medford. Now coming up is Mike Nestor. This is the relief pitcher, number 12. Pitch from Levin is outside for ball 1. Now the pitch is low. Ball 2. Or rather, ball 1, as the first pitch caught the outside corner for strike 1. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up. Mcgrath is under it, and he's got the catch for the second out of the inning.
Come on, Caleb. Let's go, guys. Let's go, Jake. Come on, bud.
Now, stepping to the plate is Shane Grant, the extra hitter. Pitch in there for strike one. A 1 pitch is low for ball one.
I have a change. There we go, Jake.
Levin sets, winds and fires. Low and away for ball two.
Go, Jake. You're the man, bud. Okay.
Pitch swung on. This is a grounder, fielded by the third baseman. Shorgy throws it over to first for the easy 5-3 out. And once again, Levin sends him down in order. After 4 innings, the score is still Medford 1, Brookline 0. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live at Playstead Park, and I will be back with the 5th inning after a quick break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Playstead Park in Medford, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and we are coming in with the top of the 5th of a rather fast-moving, low-scoring youth baseball game between Brookline and Medford. Medford leads 1-0 as Brookline comes up, and leading off for Brookline will be Owen Roach, who is batting for Jack Martell, whom he replaced at second base. First pitch is high for ball one from Medford's relief pitcher, Mike Nestor. Pitch high again for ball two. 2-0 the count. He tips this one. That'll be strike one. Two and one the count to Owen Roach. Pitch high again for ball three. Nestor, one of the taller players, so combined with the mound, he has to get the pitch a bit more down to get it into Roach's strike zone, but he gets him swinging on another high heat to make it a full count. Payoff pitch. And it's a foul tip. The catcher couldn't quite corral it, and so Roach stays alive.
Let's go, O. Get on him, buddy. Man, O. Come on, buddy.
Nestor bringing significant heat to his pitches. Count remains full. Pitch connected. This one's flying out to right. It's going to be caught by the right fielder. So that'll be the first out. And now coming to the plate, another one of the substitutions. This is Aiden Chin batting for the original extra hitter, Daniel Villa.
Let's go, Aiden.
Chin, of course, was put back out in right field. Pitch. It's fouled to the right side. Now the 0-1 pitch. Brings some curve on that one, but it's still too high, and that'll be ball one. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, and he skies this one out to center field. Center fielder is under it. Can of corn. 2 down in the inning.
Let's go. Come on, guys.
And now Levin steps in. It's the first non-substitution of this inning to come to the plate for Brookline. His last time up, he flew out to right. First pitch is in there for strike one.
Pretty good.
Brandon, your way last time.
Pitch inside this time for ball one.
You're making him look like Steve Avery.
1-1 pitch is outside for ball two.
Mama had beautiful.
2-1 pitch is foul to the backstop.
You would have caught it, right? You would have caught that, right?
2-2 is now the count.
It wouldn't have hurt that, right? Come on, Jake.
2-2 pitch. Did he hold on the check? They're saying no. It was dropped by the catcher, but the throw to first results in the easy out. So the top of the fifth ends in order for Brookline. A fly out to right, a fly out to center, and a strikeout swinging with a dropped third strike resulting in the force out at first. We are now 4.5 through this game. Medford still leads 1-0. And Mike Nestor really carrying this Medford team thus far. He is responsible for the only run of the game with an RBI sac fly that he hit in the bottom of the first inning. And he's also been pitching each of the past 2 innings. And aside from that doubled center field by Andrew Silverman, he's been pretty dominant. 4 strikeouts out of the 6 outs he's forced. And his pitches, they look faster than what you usually see at this level, so it's going to present an extra challenge if Brookline wants to come back and tie this game. Meanwhile, Jake Levin takes the mound for his 5th inning of work for Brookline. And thus far, it's been a solid outing for him. He put the Medford batters down in order each of the past 2 innings. And after that first inning where he gave up a pair of hits to start things off and then gave up the sac fly, he's only given up 1 hit since then. So a strong outing, but he's caught in a pitcher's duel where, unfortunately, he's at the disadvantage right now. So leading off for Medford this inning will be number 7, the second baseman, Maffeo, who struck out looking his last time up. Maffeo steps into the box. Levin sets. First pitch of the inning. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Levin winds and delivers. Swung on and missed again. So a quick 0-2 count. Pitch swung on and missed. 3 pitches, 3 swings, 3 strikes, you're out. Next to the plate is Dyer, the original starting pitcher for Medford, who was taken out after 3 innings of work. Pitch from Levin, swung on and missed. Dyer, the only player who has gotten a hit for Medford since the first inning. We'll see what he can do with this at bat. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball 1. Levin with the 1-1, and it's high this time for ball 2.
What you got, Jake?
Levin sets, winds and delivers.
Beautiful.
It curves into the strike zone, catches the outside corner. 2-2 now the count.
All right.
2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout swinging. He caught him chasing the high heat, and now there's 2 down in the inning. As coming up now, we have a substitution, it seems. This is number 11. Not sure who this is, but either way, the first pitch is low and away for ball 1.
Go, Jake. Come on, bud.
Next pitch is in there for a strike. Number 11 hitting for Seppi, the right fielder. And now faces a 1-1 count with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch. This one is a foul tip. I think that went off the umpire's chest. And he just walks it off like a champ. Barely even flinched. So 1-2 the count. Pitch. Catches the inside corner. 3 up, 3 strikeouts. So the 5th inning ends as Levin puts the batters down in order for the 3rd consecutive inning, this time with 3 straight strikeouts. And after 5, the score remains Medford 1, Brookline 0. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'll take a quick between innings break, but I'll be back soon. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Playstead Park in Medford, Mass. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and we are kicking off the top of the 6th inning of this youth baseball game between Medford and Brookline. Leading off for Brookline in the top of the 6th is Jasper Reed, who came in at catcher, but this inning he is batting for Conrad Wickman, who was originally in right field. First pitch. And they say he held his swing on the high pitch. Ball 1. Just barely checked that swing, according to the first base umpire. The 1-0 pitch is high for ball 2. Nestor's got a lot of heat on his pitches, but that extra heat tends to result in a lot of high balls. Pitch. This one's in there for strike 1. So a 2-1 count as a train goes by and forces me to raise my voice a little bit so you can hear me. The pitch in there for strike 2. 2-2 the count. Pitch. He fouls this one down the right side. That one might be going in the street. But Reed stays alive. 2-2 still the count. Pitch. Catches him with some movement on that one. And Reed goes down looking. Next up is Caleb Mcgrath, who subbed in at shortstop, but is batting for the previous left fielder, Ian Glick. First pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. Owen 1 the count. Nestor winds and fires. He fouls this one to the backstop, strike 2. Mcgrath has been one of Brookline's more reliable hitters, but he, along with many others, had a tough day yesterday. He went 0 for 3 with a strikeout in the loss to Reading Black. he'll be hoping for some better results today as he faces an 0-2 count. Pitch. He check swings this one. It's popped into right center and caught by the right fielder. That was a weird sequence of events. But either way, 2 down, and we cycle back to the top of the lineup with Brage Golding. Pitch from Nestor is in there for strike 1. Golding now the only lefty in Brookline's lineup, facing off against the lefty pitcher, Mike Nestor. The 0-1 pitch, high for ball 1. The 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Golding loses his balance a bit from that swing, but now has an 1-2 count, rather. The 1-2 pitch. He connects on this one. This one is going to go over the third baseman and into left field for a single. So a bloop single by Brage Golding, and Brookline is trying to get something going late in this game as they still trail 1-0. Stepping into the box is Rocco Shorgy. He is 0 for 1 with a walk so far today, as they throw back to first to check Brage Golding, who stands at first with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Nestor checks the runner and delivers in the dirt, and it skips away from the catcher, and Golding is taking off. So Golding easily to second, and now the tying run is in scoring position with a 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Nestor checks the runner a couple times, throws it. This one's in the dirt again, but this time blocked by the catcher. So it'll be ball 2. Golding holds at second. 2-1 the count. Nestor checks the runner a couple of times and delivers. Swung on and missed, and that's strike 2. Nestor checks Golding at second. Pitch is low and away for ball 3. Shorgy's making him work for it as he's built up to a full count. Nestor checks the runner. Payoff pitch. He fouls it to the backstop. So Shorgy manages to stay alive. Full count, 2 out, tying run at second.
Come on, buddy.
Payoff pitch, and it's high. Medford thought that maybe that ball had dipped low enough to catch the strike zone, but it was still just high.
Good one, Mike.
And so Shorgy manages to draw his second walk of the day. And now stepping to the plate with 2 men on and 2 out is Andrew Silverman. Nestor checks the runner and delivers just outside for ball 1. Silverman, thus far the only Brookline hitter to get aside from Golding that is, to get a hit off of Nestor, as Nestor steps off the rubber to check the runners. Silverman, of course, hit a long fly out to center field, just over the center fielder's head. He almost caught it, but not quite, and it went for a double. Now Silverman calls time and steps out of the box. 1-0 is the count. Runners at first and second, and 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. The pitch. He tips this one, and that'll make the count 1-1. The score is Medford 1, Brookline 0. Nestor checks Golding at second and delivers the pitch. This one is high for ball 2. Brookline trying to work that plate patience this inning. Silverman now facing a 2-1 count. Pitch. This one's fouled to the backstop. 2-2 now the count.
It's in the fence, Blue. It's in the backstop.
And the foul ball actually wedged into the fence on that one. Silverman now facing a 2-2 count. Nestor checks the runner a couple of times and delivers. He connects on this one. Skies it out to shallow left field. They're chasing it. They don't catch it. Golding is around third. He's coming in to score. We've got a tie ball game. That was a high fly ball, but it dropped just in time as the left fielder tried to make the sliding catch and couldn't. Golding scores, and Brookline ties this game at 1. What a huge day for Andrew Silverman thus far. He has 2 of his team's 3 hits against Nestor so far, as now stepping in with the go-ahead run at second is Ramsey Ennis. The pitch. In there for strike 1. Ennis, his last time up, struck out swinging on 3 pitches. Now the next pitch is low and inside for ball 1. The at-bat before that against Dyer. Ennis also struck out swinging. So he's looking to get his bat on the ball this time. Nestor steps off the rubber to check the runner at second. Current situation is Rocco Shorgy at second, Andrew Silverman at first. 2 down in the top of the 6th, with the score tied at 1. Ennis calls time. Brookline trying to complete the comeback here as they manage to tie it, but are now hoping to take the lead. Ennis steps back in. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Pitch. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 3. So Brookline strands 2 men on the bases, but not before they manage to tie things up with a score of 1-1. Some visual frustration from Mike Nestor. He was delivering a dominant outing, but then just gave up the tying run. The way the inning played out, Jasper Reed struck out looking. Caleb Mcgrath flew out to right field. And then with 2 outs, Brage Golding managed to get a bloop single to left to get the rally going. Rocco Shorgy drew a walk after fouling off 1 pitch to stay alive. And then Andrew Silverman, facing a 2-2 count, hit a fly ball to shallow left that no one was able to grab, and Brage Golding came around to score the tying run. Ramsey Ennis rounded out the inning with a strikeout swinging. So we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. The score now, Brookline 1, Medford 1. And Jake Levin returning to the mound for his 6th inning of work. Each of the past 3 innings, Levin has put the Medford batters down in order. He doesn't have the same kind of intense speed that Nestor possesses on his pitches, but he's been able to use his control and pitch movement as well as the fielders behind him, to keep Medford in check since the first inning. Last of the warm-up pitches go in.
He went where?
And now coming up is number 8, Slow.
I remember Mick driving, taking them over.
Slow's first time to the plate since the bottom of the second, which he ended with a ground out to second. First pitch, he swings, he skies this one out to left center. This one looks like it's going to drop. It does drop. Golding chasing it down, throwing it back into the infield, but not before Slow gets a stand-up double.
That away!
That away.
So a big strike for the first hit given up since the second inning. And now coming up is number 2. I think this is Sam Grant. And he shows bunt but misses, so that'll be strike 1. Ball probably would have been low and inside for a ball, but he was trying to lay down a bunt and move the runner to third. 0-1 the count. He throws back to second, but Slow dives back safely. Mcgrath tried to do a fake throw back to the pitcher, but didn't fool him. He had coaches shouting from the backup, "Stay, stay," until it was ultimately thrown back. 0-1 the count to Grant. Swung on and missed strike 2.
All right, Sam. Come on, Sammy.
0-2 the count. The go-ahead run at second for Medford. Levin sets. He checks the runner, throws it back, and he dives back safely. Fielder wasn't really at second anyway. Levin checks the runner a couple of times, winds, delivers, and it's fouled down the left side, and Grant stays alive.
Put it in place, Sammy.
0-2, still the count. Levin checks the runner back at second. Delivers the pitch. Strike 3. Gets him on swings, and that's the first out of the inning. Now up is the leadoff hitter, Paolillo. He was responsible, he scored Medford's only run back in the first inning. Now the first pitch is just outside, ball 1. Paolillo, one of a number of lefty hitters, as 3 of Medford's first 4 hitters in the lineup are all lefty hitters. 1-0 count. Levin checks the runner and fires. This one's connected, fouled down the left side, and that's going to be strike 1. 1-1 the count. Runner at second, 1 down. Levin steps off the rubber to check the runner. He had no fielders covering second base, but Slow steps back anyway. The pitch, connected on. This one's flown out to left field, caught easily by Golding. Runner does not advance, and we've got 2 down in the inning. Next up is S. Nestor, the catcher. Make that Sean Nestor. Another lefty hitter as Levin pitches. This one's grounded over to second. Bobbled by Roach. Can he get the throw to first in time? He can. So the 1-run game continues for Jake Levin as we end the 6th inning with the first different score we've had since the first inning. The score is now Medford 1 and Brookline 1. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live from Medford, Mass., and I'll be back with the final inning of regulation after a quick break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Playstead Park in Medford, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live with what has been a very tightly contested youth baseball game between Brookline and Medford, and we are now ready to start the top of the 7th and final inning of regulation. Brookline will be leading things off, starting with their first baseman, number 27, Eli Rothman. He'll be facing off against Medford's relief pitcher, Mike Nestor. First pitch, swung on and missed, strike one. Nestor has been throwing heat ever since he came in the 4th inning, as he throws another pitch, swung on and missed again, strike two. But regardless, Brookline managed to squeeze out the tying run the previous inning. And now the heat is on both sides as Nestor delivers the 0-2 pitch, high and outside for ball one.
Just relax, bud. Just relax. Let's go.
1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and Rothman is down on strikes.
Okay, Owen. Let's go, Owen. Come on, Owen.
Next up is Owen Roach. He unusually started this game out on the bench, but then came in, replaced Jack Martell at second base, and also took his same spot in the batting order. Pitch from Nestor, high and outside for ball one. 1-0 pitch is high for ball two. Roach taking advantage of his relatively smaller strike zone early in this at-bat, as the next pitch is just in there for a strike. 2-1. 2-1 is outside again for ball three. So 3-1 now the count, as Roach trying to get Brookline a base runner and a potential go-ahead run. Nestor delivers, swung on and connected. This one's going out to left field. This will be a clean single. So Owen Roach, instead of just working for the walk, instead makes contact and sends one out to left field. And now stepping in is Aiden Chin. He also unusually started the game in the dugout, but then came in as a replacement in right field. And as the throw goes back to first, and Roach gets back safely, while Chin came in defensively in right field, in the batting order, he replaced the extra hitter, Daniel Villa. And another throwback. Roach dives back. That one was closer, but Roach still dives back safely. Nestor delivers, high and outside, ball one. We saw this a bit last inning. A runner gets on base and that starts to throw off your rhythm just a little bit, and it can affect your control on the pitches. Nestor winds, delivers. This one is down Broadway for strike one. 1-1 the count. Throw a pitch, and Chin skies this one. It looks like it's going to stay in the infield. Shortstop catches it easily, and we got 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Forgive me. And now the Brookline pitcher Jake Levin steps to the plate. His last time up, Levin struck out swinging and was then thrown out on the dropped third strike. Pitch from Nestor, catches the inside corner.
Come on, Jake, what do you say?
Not often you see a pitch curve from the middle of the strike zone to the edge of it. Usually it curves from outside the strike zone into the strike zone, but that one was a special kind of curve that got the first strike. Pitch from Nestor in the dirt, bounces away from the catcher, and Roach takes off. Runner now at second. The go-ahead run is now in scoring position. Count is 1-1 to Levin. Pitch from Nestor is fouled to the backstop. That'll be strike 2.
You're on him, Jake. Come on, bud. Come on, Jake. You're on him, bud. Come on, bud. Help yourself up.
Runner at second. 2 down, 1-2 the count. Nestor checks the runner at second. Winds and delivers. Swung on and missed, and that ends the inning. So Nestor holds on to his lead, and now we get ready to go into the bottom of the 7th as Brookline will try and maintain the tie. I said lead, but I should have said tie, as the score is Brookline 1, Medford 1. So we'll either be seeing a walk-off hit from Medford this inning, or we'll be going into extra innings. Of course, extra innings is trouble, as this field does not have any lights. So if this game goes on for too long with nobody winning it, we could end up with a tie. And I can guarantee you nobody wants a tie in baseball. Nobody really wants much of a tie in anything unless it helps your spot in the standings. And as I said, coming in, I don't think that's going to help anyone in the standings. Standings, based on the Lou Tompkins website, appear to operate by hockey rules. 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. So Brookline currently with 18 points. They can neither fall below second place or advance to first place. Acton is 3 points ahead of them, and Reading Red, the team that is 1 point behind Brookline, has already played all of its regular season games. So Brookline has already clinched its spot in second place. Medford, meanwhile, can jump 2 spots in the standings if they get a win here today, from 6th to 4th place, as their record currently stands at 7-4, and they trail Waltham and Stoneham, who are both 7-4-1.
Matt, need you on, Matt.
So starting things off is the shortstop, Matt Mitchell. First pitch, swung on and connected. This one might go up the middle. It's fielded by Mcgrath. He throws over to first, and it's dropped by Ramsey Annis at first base. So Mitchell starts off the inning by reaching on an error.
Come on, Mike.
And now the pitcher, Mike Nestor, comes up to the plate.
Come on, double him up. Let's go, guys.
Another lefty hitter. Levin sets, he delivers. This one is connected and skied into the infield. Mcgrath getting under it, and he makes the catch. So 2 pitches, 2 swings, 1 base runner, and 1 out. As now Shane Grant steps to the plate with 1 down and a runner on first. Levin checks the runner at first. And we got a timeout call by the batter. Steps out of the box briefly and steps back in. Pitch in there for strike 1.
Come on, Shane. Drive the ball, Shane.
Levin checks the runner, sets and delivers. This one is fouled behind the backstop. That'll be strike 2.
Shane, put it in play, Shane.
Umpire calls a brief time to dust off home plate. Shane Grant facing an 0-2 count with 1 out and a runner on first here in the bottom of the 7th of a tie ball game. The game-winning run is at first base. The pitch swung on and connected. This one's flying out to right field, but it goes foul.
Go, Shane.
Good idea, Shane.
So Grant stays alive, but cannot get the ball in play. Count remains 0-2. Levin checks the runner. The pitch, the runner goes.
That away, Shane.
He connects on this one. It's blooped out to center, caught by Mcgrath. And they just sort of easily tossed it over to first as it was a hit-and-run play. And that ends the inning. Mcgrath called off Roach on that one, and the hit-and-run almost kind of backfired as the middle infielders were rushing to cover second base, and the pop-out was aimed right behind the second base bag. So caught by Mcgrath, and then he just almost walks over to first himself, but inevitably tosses it to the first baseman to end the inning. So the double play ends regulation, and for the first time out of all the games I've covered this summer, we are going to have extra innings. The score, Brookline 1, Medford 1. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live from Playstead Park in Medford, Massachusetts, and we'll be back with extra baseball after a quick break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Playstead Park in Medford, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and we're ready to start some extra innings of youth baseball here in this game between Brookline and Medford. Two teams played 7 innings and finished tied at 1 apiece. So now we'll be starting some extra baseball as Brookline gets ready to come up in the top of the 8th inning. And we have a new pitcher for Medford. This will be number 7, Cole Maffeo, replacing the southpaw pitcher, Mike Nestor. Nestor came on in the 4th inning in relief of the starting pitcher, Dyer, and was grooving until Brookline managed to tie things up in the top of the 6th. So now we go from the righty Dyer to the southpaw Nestor to the righty Maffeo. Leading things off for Brookline will be Jasper Reed, who started in the dugout today, but then took over at the catcher position. But in the batting order, he replaced Conrad Wickman, the right fielder. It's been all matter of confusing substitutions from Brookline today as the first pitch from Maffeo curves into the inside corner for strike 1. We got pitches curving the opposite direction now. As a righty's back on the mound, the pitch is outside for ball 1. So Brookline going to have to readjust themselves after all that time they took to get adjusted to Nestor. Pitch from Maffeo. He check swings, but foul tips it behind him. So that'll be strike 2.
Now you fight, Jasper. Now you fight, kid. Come on, Jasper.
1-2 the count. Pitch. Catches the inside corner once again, and Reed goes down looking. Next up is Caleb Mcgrath, who produced a couple of the outs in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch. He shows bunt, but pulls back as the pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Mcgrath also started in the dugout, but came in at shortstop. But in the batting order, he replaced the left fielder, Ian Glick. Pitch. In there for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. One pitch. Outside, ball 2.
buddy. Do the same, buddy.
The 1-1.
Very cool.
Drops into the strike zone for strike 2. Maffeo using some nice curveballs to fool the Brookline hitters. 1-2 is the count. This one hangs and comes in behind Mcgrath, actually. So way inside for ball 3. Full count, payoff pitch. And that one curves in, but not enough. Just high for ball 4, and Mcgrath trots down to first. So now with a runner on first and 1 out, coming up to the plate is the architect of Brookline's 6th inning rally, and that is Brage Golding. Pitch. Runner takes off. He lays down a bunt down the third base line. Catcher fields it, throws to first, catches him, but Mcgrath's taking off for third. He slides in safely. He almost took off for home as the third baseman bobbled the throw, but ultimately decided to play it safe. So a sac bunt by Golding gets Mcgrath all the way to third base. So now, with the go-ahead run 90 feet from home, it is Rocco Shorgy. Pitch. Swung on and connected. This is a grounder over to the shortstop. And it's thrown to first, and that ends the inning. So Brookline manages to get a runner to third base, but they cannot take the lead, and we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, still tied at 1-1. Summing up at the top of that 8th inning, Jasper Reed led off and struck out looking. Caleb Mcgrath managed to draw a 6-pitch walk. Brage Golding laid down a sac bunt that got Mcgrath to second and then to third on the throw to first. But then Rocco Shorgy grounded out to shortstop to end the top of the 8th inning. The score is still Brookline 1, Medford 1, and back out on the mound for Brookline, it is tonight's marathon man, and that is Jake Levin. He has pitched all 7 innings for Brookline thus far, and he's coming out for his 8th inning of work. Medford has used 3 different pitchers today, but Brookline, they're just sticking with their one. Coming up to the plate for Medford, leading off will be their latest pitcher, Cole Maffeo, who neutralized Brookline's threat in the top of the 8th inning. Following him will be the starting pitcher, Dyer, unless there are any substitutions. And then after Dyer, not entirely sure. We've seen some substitutions in the batting lineup on both sides throughout this game. So hard to say what's going to happen, but either way, we are ready to start the bottom of the 8th. Cole Maffeo steps in against Jake Levin. Pitch. In there for strike 1. Levin sets. The 0-1 pitch. In there again for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Pitch. Swung on and missed. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and he's out. Now, coming up to the plate, the original starting pitcher and another lefty hitter, that is Ross Dyer. Pitch, swung on and missed. A big cut, he wanted that one, but instead he just gets strike 1.
Come on, bud.
The 0-1 pitch, swung on and connected. This one might go past second baseman. It does. A single up the middle to center field. though more right of the middle. Either way, a single to center for Ross Dyer. And the winning run is once again on first base. As coming back to the plate is number 0. That's Seppi. Levin checks the runner at first. Checks again. Now he sets. Throw back to first. And Dyer's back safely. 1 out. Runner on first here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pitch. Swung on and connected. This one's going out to center field. This one might drop. It does drop in right center. The throw to second base is not in time to catch the lead runner. And just like that, we've got 2 men on with 1 out.
All right, double play, guys. Let's go.
And now coming up is number 8, Thomas Slow.
Come on, Tom.
Slow had a big hit his last time up. He managed to lead off the bottom of the 6th with a double, but could not come around to score. The first pitch. Low and away for ball 1. Pitch. Fouled over the backstop. That'll be strike 1. That hit somebody's car. Now the 1-1 pitch is high for ball 2.
He escapes that one.
Winning run at second base.
Uh-oh.
Car alarm has gone off thanks to the baseball as Levin steps off the mound and someone turns off the car alarm and Levin steps back onto the mound. 2-1 pitch. Curves into the inside corner for strike 2. 2-2 the count. 1 out. Runners at first and second in the bottom of the 8th of this tie ball game. 2-2 pitch.
Nice.
Foul to the backstop, and Slow stays alive. Two and two remains the count. The pitch.
Nice.
He swings, grounds it to the pitcher. He throws it over to third for 1, and that's all they get.
All right. 2 down, right?
So now with 2 down
Come on, Jake. Let's go, Jake.
and 2 men on,
Jakes.
I know.
and
We can root for
next
everybody,
up
right?
is Jake Stover. Pitch from Levin in there for strike 1. So we got Jake against Jake as it's Levin versus Stover. 0-1 the count. Levin with the pitch. Runner takes off and it's fouled to the backstop. Medford trying to make something happen. They were sending Seppi off on that pitch. Maybe looking for a hit and run.
All right, Jasper.
I mean, with 2 outs, it could work.
We'll score on the ball.
Fielding error would be all you would need.
For the next thing.
Either way, now the count is 0-2. Pitch. Fouls to the backstop again. Stover stays alive
In the battle, Jake. In the battle.
with 1 strike to give in this inning. 2 outs. 0-2 count. 2 men on. The winning run at second base. Score 1-1. The train goes by. Here comes the pitch. Outside for a ball. They go for a pickoff at first, and they got him.
And then I was like, that's going down the line. That's how we do it.
Oh, an outside ball pitch by Levin, but Reed with the heads-up throw to first as the runner at first was taking too big a lead. Heads-up play by Jasper Reed behind the plate. And he catches Thomas Slow at first base to end the bottom of the 8th inning. And we're getting ready for another inning of extra baseball. Can you feel the tension in the air tonight, folks? I know I can here at Playstead Park in Medford, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and I'll be back with the 9th inning of play after a quick break. Stay tuned. Hello, and welcome back to Playstead Park in Medford, Mass. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, bringing you the 9th inning and second extra inning of this youth baseball game between Brookline and Medford. Score is still tied at 1-1. Medford sends out Cole Maffeo for his second inning of work. Leading off is Andrew Silverman, who takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Silverman had the hit of the night a few innings ago as he hit an RBI single to shallow left field to tie the game. Pitch, outside, ball 2. Before that, Silverman had a big double to center field that unfortunately left him stranded. So he's been hitting well. 2-0 pitch is high for ball 3.
Come on, Cole, you got this, bud.
Silverman's had a good day at the plate, and he's hoping to get on base as the potential go-ahead run now. 3-0 pitch. Swung on, and he skies this one to shallow left again. The left fielder's going under it, and he catches it this time. Some aggression there from Andrew Silverman, swinging on the 3-0 count, and it does not pay off as he flies out to left for the first out. Next up will be Ramsey Annis. Annis has had a rough day at the plate thus far. 0 for 3 with 3 swinging strikeouts. He shows bunt, he pulls back, but the pitch is in for a strike anyway. So Annis hoping to get the ball in play at least with this at bat. If not, reach base. Pitch. Curves in for another strike. 0-2 the count.
Go, Cole. You got it.
Come on, guys.
Lined up in the pitch. Swung on and missed. Another swinging strikeout for Annis. He's having a tough day at the plate today, but now coming up is Eli Rothman. Rothman, his last at bat, he struck out swinging to lead off the top of the 7th. Pitch from Maffeo. Catches the inside corner, strike 1. Maffeo's got some nice curve on his pitches. He's been able to successfully fool the Brookline hitters, but the next pitch is low and away for ball 1. Pitch, outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count to Rothman. Pitch. Catches the inside corner again, or maybe they say he went around, not sure which, but either way, it's a 2-2 count. Pitch, swung on and missed. It bounces in the dirt, but they throw down to first. And so Brookline goes down in order in the top of the 9th. A fly out to left by Andrew Silverman, and back-to-back swinging strikeouts by Ramsey Annis and Eli Rothman, with Rothman needing to be thrown out at first, more for a formality's sake, after the catcher dropped the 3rd strike.
Good job.
So it looks like we've got a substitution on the mound. Yes, we do. For the first time, it won't be Jake Levin on the plate. It'll be Eli Rothman. Brookline making its first pitching substitution after Levin pitched 8 innings in this game. 8 innings would be a lot of work at any level. And props to Levin. After giving up a run on a sacrifice fly in the first inning, he has held Medford scoreless for the next 7 innings afterwards. And of course, that included a 3-inning stretch in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning where he sent 9 straight batters down in order So props to Levin, regardless of how this game ends. Props really to all the pitchers. When you've got a 1-1 game, you got to give props to all the pitchers because they're doing their job. And now that we've got another new pitcher in the game, this will be the 5th pitcher between the two teams, and we'll see how he handles his workload, starting here in the bottom of the 9th. He'll be facing the top of the order for Medford. Or actually, no, my mistake. He'll start off by bringing Stover back to the plate, as the inning did not end with him getting out, but rather with a runner being picked off at first base. So Jake Stover will be coming up for effectively a redo on his at-bat from the last inning, and he'll be facing off against a different batter. So the Jake versus Jake matchup from the last inning ends without resolution, as the batter didn't get out, nor did he reach base before the Jake on the mound was replaced.
Here we go, Eli.
So after the last of the warm-up throws, we are ready to start the bottom of the 9th inning. Stover steps in. Rothman sets, winds, and delivers. And it's fouled to the backstop for strike 1. Rothman nods at the pitch. The 0-1. It's low for ball 1. Now with the 1-1 pitch, low again for ball 2.
Look at him, Eli.
Rothman shakes off a couple pitches, gets one he likes. 2-1 pitch. Low again for ball 3.
Look at him, kid.
The 3-1 pitch. Inside, and that's ball 4. So Stover gets to trot out to first with the potential game-winning run. And now, stepping to the plate, is number 22, Zach Paolillo. Pitch from Rothman is in there for strike 1. Paolillo scored Medford's so far only run in the bottom of the first inning. He led off the inning with a single and later came around on a sacrifice fly as Rothman's pitch is outside for ball 1. Rothman checks the runner at first, delivers, reaches out and fouls it over the backstop to the left side. That'll be strike 2.
Come on, Zach. Eat you on, Zach.
1-2, the count. Now the throw back to first, but Stover dives back safely, as it appears we have at least one defensive substitution for Brookline. Now covering first base is John Kim. Pitch, connected, but fouled behind the backstop again. So Paolillo stays alive as the train goes by again. 1-2, still the count. Rothman checks the runner at first. Winds, delivers, connected on, and that one is over the shortstop's head into left center.
That away, Zach.
Runner is at first and second now.
Come on, Sean.
Guys, it's all right. Come on.
Pull the ball, Sean. Pull the ball.
And now Sean Nestor up at the plate with runners at first and second and nobody out. The game-winning run is in scoring position. Prime opportunity for Medford. Pitch from Rothman in the dirt, and it skips away from Reed, and both runners advance.
Come on, Sean. Put it in play, Sean.
Stover goes down to third. Paolillo to second, and we've got a meeting at the mound.
Hold the ball, Sean.
A ball to the outfield could end this game, whether it's caught or not, with runners now at second and third and nobody out. Even if it's a grounder to the infield, Brookline has to check the runner at home. Otherwise, this game could end. So the meeting at the mound ends, and Rothman ready to go back to work.
Hit it hard, Sean.
Can Sean Nestor end this game with a 1-0 count? Nobody out, second and third here in the bottom of the ninth. Pitch, he fouls it to the backstop, and the count is now 1-1.
Hit it hard, Sean. Come on, Sean. Lift it. Let's go, Eli. Come on, bud. Let's go, Brookline. Triple play. Let's go.
1-1 pitch, and it's again fouled to the backstop. 1-2 now the count.
Come on, Sean.
Any contact into the field could potentially result in this winning run. Anything save maybe a pop-up to the infield. The 1-2 pitch. He swings, hits a grounder, bobbled by the shortstop, holds the runners, and they got him at first, I think they said. Or, no, they said he was safe. I thought I saw the ump pump his fist, but I guess not. And now Mitchell comes to the plate. Matt Mitchell. Pitch. He fouls to the backstop. Strike one. Bases loaded after Sean Nestor reached on a bobbled grounder to the shortstop. Of course, Brookline had to check the runner at home, as that run would end this game. 0-1 the count to Mitchell. The pitch. Inside, ball one. The 1-1 pitch. In there for strike two. 1-2.
Get down, Eli. Come on, bud. Go, Brookline, on your toes.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and connected. This one's going out to the outfield. Is it going to drop? It drops, and this game is going to end. Stover comes in to score with the game-winning run. And Matt Mitchell gets the walk-off hit to left center to score Stover, and Medford wins 2-1. An exciting game from both sides, some stellar pitching performances. And as I said, standings-wise, this game means a lot more for Medford than it does for Brookline. Medford improves their record to 8-4 as they jump Waltham and Stoneham from 6th place to 4th place, while Brookline's final record on the regular season drops to 9-4. They currently hold 2nd place in the A division. Not sure if Medford has a 13th game in their schedule. If they do, they could potentially tie with Brookline if they were to get another win. But regardless, this is where the standings stay. Brookline is 9-4 in second place in the A division, while Medford is 8-4 and improves to fourth place in the division, 1 point behind Reading Red, who stands in between the two at 8-3-1. I'll give a quick sum up of this game before I wrap up this broadcast. In the top of the first, Brookline managed to get a runner on second, courtesy of a walk and a steal by Rocco Shorgy, but left him stranded there with no score. In the bottom of the first, Zach Paolillo led off with a single to center. Sean Nestor followed that up with a single through the gap, putting runners on the corners. Then after a pop out to short, Mike Nestor hit a sac fly to left, scoring Paolillo for the first run of the game, and what would be the only run of the game for a while. In the top of the second, Daniel Villa reached on an infield single to first with 2 outs, but went no further than first base. In the bottom of the second, Ross Dyer got a single to left center with 1 out, but got no further. Well, he got further on a ground out to the pitcher, but then was stranded at second with a ground out to the second baseman. In the top of the third, Conrad Wickman led off with a 4-base walk, but then Ian Glick grounded into a 3-6-3 double play, and Brage Golding ended the inning with a strikeout. In the bottom of the third, Jake Levin started putting the Medford hitters down in order, ground out to short, strikeout swinging, fly out to left. In the top of the fourth, Mike Nestor took over for Ross Dyer on the mound for Medford, got a strikeout, but then gave up a big double to center field by Andrew Silverman. But then Nestor got 2 more strikeouts, all 3 of them on swings, and ended the top of the fourth with no damage. In the bottom of the fourth, Levin continued to put Medford down in order, strikeout looking, pop out to short, ground out to third. Then in the top of the fifth, Brookline went down in order, fly out to right, fly out to center, strikeout swinging with a dropped third strike, throw out to first. In the bottom of the fifth, Levin kept working, strikeout swinging, and strikeout looking. Then in the top of the sixth, Brookline managed to finally put something together. After a quick couple of outs to start the inning, Brage Golding hit a bloop single over the third baseman and into left field to get things started. Rocco Shorgy drew a walk, and then Andrew Silverman came up with a pop fly single to shallow left where just about nobody could get it, though the left fielder did try and just dropped a sliding grab. Brage Golding came around from second to score and tie the game at 1 before a strikeout ended the inning. In the bottom of the second, Thomas Slow led off with a double to left center, Medford's first hit since the second inning, but he was stranded at second base as Levin continued to put the Medford batters down, strikeout swinging, fly out to left, ground out to second rather. In the top of the second, Owen Roach managed to get to second base on a single to left and a wild pitch, but he was ultimately stranded there. In the bottom of the seventh, Matt Mitchell reached on an error on the throw to first base on a grounder to the shortstop, but then he got taken out in an inning-ending double play on a pop out to the shortstop and a pickoff at first. Then we went into extra baseball. Cole Maffeo took over for Mike Nestor on the mound for Medford, and Brookline managed to get a runner to third as Caleb Mcgrath drew a walk, and Brage Golding laid down a sac bunt that allowed Mcgrath to advance 2 bases, but a ground out to the shortstop put an end to that threat. In the bottom of the eighth, Medford put together a threat with 2 singles, but then a fielder's choice got the lead runner out at third, and then a heads-up pickoff play, by Jasper Reed from the catcher's position ended the inning as he picked off the runner at first base to end the bottom of the eighth. In the top of the seventh, Brookline went down in order, fly out to left, strikeout swinging, and then strikeout swinging with a dropped third strike, throw out to first. And then Eli Rothman took over for Jake Levin, gave up a walk, a single to left center as Stover walked, and then Paolillo singled to left center Then Nestor reached on a bobbled grounder to the shortstop, where the shortstop had to check the runner. And then Matt Mitchell came through with the game-winning hit, a single to left center that drove in Jake Stover. Final score, Medford 2, Brookline 1. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan from Plaisted Park in Medford, Massachusetts. Thank you all for listening, and have a good night.